Okay, so today I'm in New York City with the new MacBook Neo. When I was in college, this thing would have been an amazing computer to have. I think I had something like an HP or an Acer. That's what I could afford. But Apple just dropped something that is super amazing, and I've been using this for a couple days now, and this thing just packs a huge punch. So welcome to a day in my life with the new MacBook Neo, and I'll be trying to using it how I actually would use it as a college student, kind of to give you guys a good perspective of what you could expect with this computer and all of the softwares that I used when I was actually in college. Tech specs, I'm rocking the 8 gigabit of unified memory along with the base 256 gig of storage. The keyboard is just a basic keyboard, so it doesn't have the magic trackpad or anything, the magic touchpad on it. And then for brightness on the display, it goes all the way up to 500 nits of brightness. And I kind of want to like see how that plays out, like using it outside as a college student. Well, when I was a college student, I would normally sit outside a lot, especially in the spring and summertime. So I kind of want to see how that plays out. And if I was back in college, I know I would have loved having a laptop like this for $499. Battery percent is at 100%. I know one thing that I love to do in college was actually, use my laptop as my power bank, because I couldn't afford like a power bank separately. So I'd make sure like my laptop is charged. So I'm trying to simulate that as I go through the day. Like if my phone needs charge, I'll probably use my laptop as the battery pack to actually get it charged. One of the things that I like to do, especially when it was spring or summertime and I was in college, was actually sit outside and just, use my computer in between classes, edit videos, do some light work in Lightroom, or even like just prepare for my assignments. But I want to show you guys what you could actually expect from this display outside. The sun is currently up, but I'm actually have a timeline pulled up in Final Cut Pro, and just want to show you guys what you could expect if you're trying to edit something on this computer. And this is like a short reel, but this was shot with my Sony FX3. This is a 422 10-bit file that I'm playing back here. Every time I elevate is something to celebrate. As you can see, this computer is actually struggling with playing back this video, and if you're mad at this, this is not the computer for you. This is for a basic user that just wants to be able to run through like just basic Microsoft Words files and things like that, not necessarily like editing YouTube videos. So don't expect that you're gonna get this computer to do any form of work, but maybe more on the photo editing side, and I'll just pull up something to show you guys as well. But right now I am hungry, so I'm just gonna see if I could find a restaurant that I could actually sit down, get some food, eat and relax. The quest began to find food, and I thought the marketplace would have been a good option for food, but I was wrong. Well, the food options did look good, but just walking into that dark place, and there was just so much people inside of this dark little place, it just felt a lot claustrophobic for me, and I just didn't like that there's just so much noise. But the food did look good coming out of here. Maybe that's why there was a ton of people there, or it's just because there was a tourist section here in New York City. That's why so much people was like trying to get food in here. But I ended up leaving and going to this place called Sweet Green. It's similar to Kava, but in my opinion the food options were not that great. Yeah, I'm gonna get the tofu, the roasted tofu. But what kind of salad is that?
That's a guacamole green.
Okay. Can I have a little bit of Caesar on that one when you're ready? May I also, can I have a Olipop root beer? What I ordered was quinoa, lettuce, shredded carrot, chickpea, some sweet potato and tofu. And let me tell you, the tofu was super dry and lacked flavor. If you're a vegan, let me know the best options that I could get from here. or any other great spots that's here in Brooklyn. I'm going to give this a hard 4 out of 10 simply because of how dry the tofu and unseasoned it was, in my opinion. I'm also watching Carl's new video on YouTube, and the display is still amazing inside. It's super sharp, and as you can see, very bright to keep me engaged, and having my earpods to keep me engulfed into the content. This place was much quieter than the other marketplace, but nevertheless, this is still New York City, and it is just super noisy. Battery percent was at 60, and at this point in time, which I won't complain about, that's actually amazing running at this price point for this computer.
Cold.
Alright, so hopefully you guys could hear me. I'm at a restaurant, or I'm at a smoothie shop trying to relax. See if I could show you guys some more footage of like just basically using this new MacBook Neo. Right now, one of the things that I know that I did a lot in college is that I made sure like that there's just a bunch of tabs that are open at the same time. So right now I have like, you know, a bunch of tabs open in Safari. And then along with that, I have, let's see right here, I have Lightroom open. And let me just show you guys like a quick edit. Let's say I just make some adjustments to this, blah, 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 contrast, whatever. This is from an old video that I had. And then I kind of want to see the export time on this. So if I hit export, I'm going to go to custom settings. Well, you know what? Yeah, custom settings. I normally do full size, quality to 100%, export. And I'm going to export to my desktop. Just going to throw it right here, and let's see. Oh, this is pretty slow. I haven't done like any major edits to this, so like seeing the loading is taking forever. I can tell like that's very slow. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Want to get this done before the video gets too long.
You like that or the coffee?
All right, that was successful. That took probably over a minute. That was a long time just to export one photo. And this photo I took with my A7 IV. So that's like 33 megapixels that you guys are looking at right there. So, and that's pretty much a raw file as well. And then along with that, you know, I just want to test out just the speeds of the ports that they have. I believe one port is just for charging, another that you could use. So these are some photos that I took. It's not a lot. These are some old photos that's on this card right here, and I'm going to copy them over to my documents. Well, let me just do the desktop as well, since I was doing that before. So okay, so this is 1.12 gigabits, less than a minute. If you're using something like a MacBook Pro, this would be speeding, but you know, the speeds to copy this is pretty fast as well. Like looking at this, 1.2 gigabits, I would have settled for this like previously. Like this is very good, because it's like you're on a budget, so you don't expect to get like the best of quality of everything, but so far like this is good. And then I have Xcode. Xcode is something that I normally would use when I was back in college, so I would use Xcode to do that, like my code editing. I'm not even sure if they actually still have that editor, but I could like edit like my Python projects and so forth in this. And let me just run this. So this is just a basic file. Let me just replace the test, and let's see. This is something that I would have been picky about back in the days. So it's building, build succeeded. And this is just a basic file being opened. There's nothing to it. It's just a test. There's not even anything being pulled up. So as you can see, there's just a bunch of tabs here open. I have Netflix open, but I don't believe I could screen record. So I'll just go over to YouTube and pull up one of Andres' video and see if I could get it all the way to 4K. So this video is in 4K. Let me see if I can have it pulled up on full screen mode. I'm not gonna lie, this looks really good. This looks really good. There's like no issues with this. I mean, this is better than the computer that I had previously. Yeah, and that's it. And in the background as well, like while doing all of this, so I have these tabs open. I don't normally do a lot of tabs. I'm just showing you what I would do in college. Also, if you're planning on using the microphone and front camera on this is what the video quality would look like, and hopefully the other quality sounds good as possible. As I mentioned, I'm in like a cafe and they're playing music, but this is what you could expect, especially if you're traveling around. But let me know down below, how does the audio quality would sound from this. Video quality is not the greatest, but it's something that I would work with. When I was in college, some other times I won't even turn on my camera, to be honest with you. So this goes hand in hand. Lighting is pretty decent in here. It's not super dark, but this is what you could expect if you're using this front camera along with a microphone. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm not sure if the audio quality is awesome on this, and I don't even know if like the preview footage that you guys saw, if I'm gonna have to like do voiceover over that. So I'm probably gonna leave right here, go home, see if I could relax and show you guys a little bit more on this camera, well, on this computer as well. Dongles are working perfectly, everything is in. My battery is now at 73%, which is pretty good. It's now 3:51 and I started the day probably closer to 10. I didn't do much with this. I didn't even use it to charge my phone. But 73% is pretty good. Like if you're in college, I wouldn't like worry necessarily about the battery life, because you always have like places where you could quickly get some juice in. And this, this works for $4.99. Can't complain on that as well. But so far the battery life is pretty decent on this, and all of these apps that you see are running in the background, like all of this. All right, so I am back home and I realized that I haven't had you guys listen to the speakers coming out of this. Also, I have a 6K monitor right here. I'm just curious to see if this will be able to drive this monitor with no issues connected to like my docking system that I have set up right here. But right now, I want to play some music, and the speakers, there's one on this side and there's another on this side along with the headphone jack. So let's kind of see what we're getting for $4.99. We are maxed. Wow, for this price point, I'm not gonna complain about anything. These sound great for $499. Like, just listen to these. Apple, you're doing something amazing with this price point and just the build of this laptop. Okay, so moment of truth. Let me make sure that I'm plugging into the right spots, because one of these is just for charging and I think the other one is just USB Type-C. So I heard the power sound. We're getting power. We are getting power. I'll say accessory not supported. Thunderbolt accessories with this Mac is not supported. Correct. This is correct. The port right here is just USB 2.0, I believe. So Thunderbolt is not supported. So I can't even power up my monitor. Let me see if I could get just a regular USB cable and connect it. Let's see. All right, so it is working. I had to use just a regular USB and I'm just attaching it to my dongle here and using an HDMI cable to the back of this. So Thunderbolt does not work, and that is 100% correct because this has USB 2.0 and just a regular charging. I think the other one is just for charging themselves. So both two ports, you can't necessarily use them to transfer data or connect to a monitor like that. And since I'm here, I'm gonna see if I could open as much application as I can and actually like see what will force this computer to crash. It's taking a while to open all of the applications, but they are opening, and I'm just curious to actually like see the limitations of this computer. I don't have an external hard drive plugged in, so I can't pull up a project for Final Cut Pro, but we could do a new one. All right, as you can see, it's struggling, but it will probably get the job done. Probably not in the near future, probably in the next 5 minutes or so. And it's draining the battery because remember, I just got it from 64, so it's going all the way down to 58%. And that kind of leads me over to one of the things that I think the reason why Apple was able to get this MacBook at a cheaper price point, which brings a lot of value to the customers. They're using the same chip that they use in the iPhone, and that's probably already like pre-designed in-house, so they could just reprint those chips and just throw them into this, and it is doing an amazing job. I just like where technology is going, the state and the speed that it is in. Like a couple years back, who would think that you could get a good trackpad like this? Like, it's not wonky, it clicks, it feels premium. The keyboard is just a regular keyboard that you would get with any other MacBook computer. It works fine, it looks good aesthetic wise, it's thin, could fit in your backpack, and it does not break the bank. Like, again, Apple, they did a great job with this. I'm tired. Hopefully you guys made it to the end of this video. I'm gonna see if I could probably eat again and get some rest. But thank you for watching. Peace out. God bless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. More content like this is dropping soon.